Yo, what is going on, everybody? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you our next matchup in the Fighter Pass tournament. So, if you're new and you're wondering what this is, basically it's a little tournament I put together of a bunch of characters that are not represented in Super Smash Bros. In any way. So we put them into a tournament, and then if you want to participate and vote for which character for each matchup for the day that you want to see as a DLC character, you're more than welcome to. Just vote down in the comments for either character A, B, or if you really want, you can vote for both of them. So the two characters, obviously, you can see in the title of the video, or possibly the thumbnail of the video, or if you missed that somehow, the matchup today is Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden series. Slash Dead or Alive series, taking on Mike Jones from Star Tropics, a retro kind of character. He's interesting because, I mean, with all the spirits that are in the game and all these Nintendo franchises and games that have been represented, Mike Jones somehow gets left out of being a spirit. Little strange, I'd say personally, but yeah, you'd vote for one of them down in the comments. I'll get to that matchup in a minute. So this is a double elimination tournament. Character has to lose twice before being eliminated. So if you lose, you drop to the loser bracket, and you lose from there, you're done. So voting stays open for 1 week to keep the tournament rolling, and that means we have to go over the results from last week. And last week's matchup was Spyro the Dragon taking on Yoshimitsu from the Soul Calibur / kind of Tekken series. So let me just say this one was not close. Not close. Quite a few people in the comments don't even know who Yoshimitsu is, and I guess to me that's a little surprising. I mean, he's one of the more familiar names from the Soul Calibur series and kind of Tekken series, so a little strange. But yeah, Spyro ends up winning just slightly, 51 votes to 6. So Spyro, congrats, you get to move on for at least one more match because Spyro is in the loser bracket, already has 1 loss. So that means Yoshimitsu, done, eliminated. All right, so now that we have that done and out of the way, we get to go to the matchup for the day, which is Ryu Hayabusa and Mike Jones. I already said this. I should know this. So let me start off with Mike Jones. All right. So like I said, Mike Jones in Super Smash Bros. There's so many just old games, old franchises that are represented some way through spirits. Especially, or maybe an item, or maybe a stage, but in this case, I'm talking about spirits. And since there's so many old games that are I mean, you got like some really weird, you got like pitcher and batter, or pitcher and catcher, or something like that. You got stuff from like baseball games, like that. I mean, it's absolutely absurd the amount, in a good way, absurd in a good way, the amount of different games that are represented through spirits, which is awesome. But when you stop to look at it, there's this game called Star Tropics, and Mike Jones, who gets brought up, here and there for Smash Bros. Being talked about for that retro character, and I just found it very strange that he got left out of being a spirit. Like, why would Mike Jones get left out of being a spirit? To me, I don't understand that. Is there plans to bring back Star Tropics, the series that he's from? Is that, was that on the table? Was he ever discussed for DLC or even in the base roster? Maybe that's why he didn't have a spirit. I don't know. It'd be kind of strange, I guess, like, again, I'm going to reiterate the point that there's so many franchises that are represented that, you leave off this one that does get brought up throughout a new Smash game, the cycle, all the hype, and all the character predictions and all that stuff. Mike Jones does get brought up here and there. So to be left out, a little strange to me. But how would he work, right? He's kind of like more of a brawler. He's got like a yo-yo. I think he's got a baseball bat, so he's kind of like, somewhat like Ness, I think, if you want to kind of envision play style somewhat similar to that. I don't think he has powers, psychic abilities. Maybe he does. I don't know too much about Mike Jones, but let me talk about being a retro character for DLC, right? Would Nintendo be smart to put a retro character as DLC for this game? I don't know, because one, you could say DLC will sell for Smash Bros. no matter what, it's Smash Bros. At all. It's selling tremendously well, and people are gonna want, the new characters that come out. Like, yo, hey, I'm down. Let me buy the new character. Let me get a full roster of people. So people will buy it. Maybe even regardless of the character. Like some people, like myself, we just went in, blind and bought the entire fighter pass. We had no idea the characters we were getting at the time. Well, now we know we got Joker, and we got some rumors about other characters such as, Erdrick from Dragon Quest. Ryu Hayabusa's kind of been thrown around, and I'll get to him in a second. But, I don't know. For retro character, it is a Nintendo character as well, so you wouldn't have to you don't got to jump through hoops and negotiate terms to get the rights to a character, So having them just kind of in your own pocket already is, I guess it's a positive note, but I don't know how big it could be. Again, bringing back an old character, maybe rebooting the franchise or, just giving the franchise more life would be kind of cool to see, honestly. I'm always a fan for kind of like a maybe one of the like a WTF kind of character or a retro character, bringing back something old. I always like that feeling. It is cool, but for DLC, if you went individual packs, probably more people that are just waiting to see the DLC. Some people are gonna, actually, I think quite a bit of people might look at him and go, "Never heard of this guy. Who is he? Why is he in the game?" And then they might not even take a chance to buy him. So, I mean, Mike Jones is in a weird spot, but I don't think he's like really, I really don't think he's considered. Honestly, I think third part or DLC is going to be all third party, honestly, my opinion. But I mean, again, that's where I guess we can go to Ryu Hayabusa, right? So Hayabusa is, I got to bring that up, right? His name, first of all. We already got Ryu from Street Fighter. No matter how many times I say this, somebody still types it down in the comments. Well, we can't have two Ryus. Let me say this again. Ryu Hayabusa is from the Dead or Alive series as well, which is a fighting series. And the announcer, when you pick Ryu Hayabusa as a character, simply just says the last name Hayabusa. That way you can differentiate the two from Ryu and Street Fighter to Ryu Hayabusa Ninja Gaiden. They look completely different. They're two totally different characters. I mean, I get it. Some new person that buys the game might go, why is there a Ryu and Ryu? Why do we have two Ryus? That doesn't make sense. So you can differentiate their names by one, Street Fighter being Ryu, and then Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden Dead or Alive series. And, from the Dead or Alive series, we can kind of go on that for moveset. So it's already kind of got a built-in moveset. Extremely awesome. I mean, he's a ninja. He could be extremely fast. He's got his, little sword katana kind of thing. You could throw in some shurikens, other sort of ninja sort of moves and all that kind of stuff. I think it would be a fantastic addition. And even before his name was popped up, in all these rumors, I was kind of going around saying he was a character that isn't getting a lot of attention that should be. And now, there is a leak, the beginning of January or something like that, saying that they know the next direct date, and, they know quite a few of the characters for Smash Ultimate, and Ryu Hayabusa was one of them. Hayabusa is one of the last remaining huge name characters from the NES/SNES era, Nintendo and Super Nintendo era. It's like the last big name. Some people say, hold off on that for the next game because you got to keep going with that. I mean, last game we had Mega Man. This game we have Simon Belmont. Next game could be Ryu. I think he'd be perfect for DLC now. I would love to see this character. He would sell. People know who he is. I mean, I don't think there's been I don't think there's been a Ninja Gaiden game for a few years, but wasn't there just recently a Dead or Alive game, or there's maybe one coming up? I could be wrong about that. But I mean, this character is awesome. I love this character. I'm personally, I'm not even on the bandwagon. I was already on it before it was a bandwagon. I'm fully behind this character being playable in Smash, being DLC. If I was a person that was just kind of waiting for all the characters to be revealed before I would decide to either buy the entire fighter pass or just buy a fighter pack, like singular, Ryu Hayabusa is definitely one I'd buy easily, no problem. Just here, take my money, I'll take it now. So, I mean, that kind of tells you who I'm going to vote for. Yes, I would love to see retro characters kind of come back, but in this matchup, easy. Ryu Hayabusa gets my vote. I would love to see Ryu Hayabusa. That's just me, though. So, anyway, that is going to pretty much wrap up today's episode. So, again, down in the comments, either vote for Ryu Hayabusa or Mike Jones, or does somebody really want both these characters? If you do, you can vote for both. Just type both down in the comments. So, anyway, that is going to be it. Actually, got to show you a sneak peek tomorrow's matchup. Looks like we will have Leon Kennedy from the Resident Evil series. We just had the Resident Evil 2 remake come out, last week? So, perfect time to talk about Leon. He's going to be taking on Steve from Minecraft. And then we'll get the results of... we'll get the results of Slime and Tracer. Slime, the generic enemy from the Dragon Quest game, taking on Tracer. Kind of the, I guess you could say, the face of the franchise for Overwatch. So, that's tomorrow. One of those characters will be eliminated, and then we get the new matchup. So that should be fun, but that's tomorrow. So that brings us to the end of this video for the day. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed as usual, and hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.